Good evening, everybody. How are you? Happy Tuesday. Happy day 9. I'm having to think hard. Happy day 9. Thank you for joining me once again. Good evening to Catherine, to Cindy, to Gemma, to Carol and Lynn. I hope you're all well. And lots of names coming up now. See, I can't keep up. We've got we've got Betty as well from Edinburgh. I like Edinburgh. Elaine, Jane, Linda, Vic, Ruby, Karen, Rosemary, and Kath. And it's like shooting up my screen. I hope you're all well. Hello, Helen. Hello, Marion. Hello, Rosina. I hope you're all well. I was thinking just before that when we started this, it was Boxing Day. We just finished our Christmas celebrations, sort of. We were on the verge, weren't we? And we were still eating up leftovers from Christmas Day, and we were still cracking nuts and eating all the things we shouldn't eat, which is always lovely. And why not? So yeah, Boxing Day, and we're on day 9. I have to say, it does feel like a little time ago now. And of course, a lot of us have taken our decorations down, and yeah, things are returning to normal, aren't they? Some would say, thank goodness for that. But when I was driving back from my dad's today, I always drive via the Fens. I just find it very relaxing, even though it's pitch black. I was driving through the Fens, and it's just lovely. And I know that route so well that I know what it looks like in the daylight, and it's very pleasing, very pleasing. And even though it's the Fens, you can see for miles, because there's certain bits where it goes up a bit of a slope. I'm not going to say hill. And yeah, it's quite wonderful. And I was thinking about that, driving through, thinking about, we started Boxing Day. How peculiar is that? Because that does seem very distant. Well, in my head it does. And there were a lot of people that still hadn't taken their outside decorations down, which was joyful. I loved it. And every village had, I don't know, half a dozen, perhaps more, houses with all the twinkly lights still. And I thought, yes, we mustn't rush forward. We mustn't, I know we started off 2023 with a right old bang doing our 12 days of Christmas, but we mustn't rush it. We must take our time and enjoy the moments that come to us. And that certainly is how it felt when I was driving home tonight. It was just wonderful. Anyway, there we are. That's me. Get off my soapbox now. Yes, I hope you're all well. Oh, Jackie's on YouTube. Ooh. Watch out, YouTubers. If Jackie's on, then I bet Nicola is as well. Karen's on YouTube and Francis is on YouTube. What's that say? Hello, it's 2 p.m. Right, I'm looking at 200. I'm assuming 2 p.m, Francis. Sandra and Pauline. Dee Dee, what time is it there? It must be 6 o'clock in the morning, I think. Or is it 5 o'clock in the morning? No, 6. Surely, Dee Dee. Surely it's about 6. I can't think. My sister's in Tasmania at the moment. And she's been ringing my dad at very peculiar times. That's really, really confused him. Anyway, Christine says we take our decorations down January the 6th. Well, we're kind of heading that way, aren't we, with the 12 days of Christmas. Helen says, hi, everyone. Oh, it's 6:30 in the morning. Oh, I wasn't far out. 6:30. What's that half an hour difference? I suppose it depends where you are based in Australia, doesn't it, really? Shirley, I'm on YouTube as well. Oh, as well as Facebook. Double handling. Such a show off, Shirley. Right, tonight, ladies and gents, we are making fallock, which is that block here. Just looking at it and thinking, is it? Yes, it is. We'll have a look at it in detail in a sec. Shirley says her decks are coming down on Friday. Yeah, I mean, that's when they're supposed to come down. So I suppose if it's you can last the distance, that's the thing, isn't it? And the next village to us, there's a house that raises money for I think cancer. I might be wrong, but anyway, they raise money for a worthy cause. And his house is completely overdone. I mean, it's just amazing. And he opens it up to all the guys and gals in the village and wherever. And raises lots of pennies, which is super. And even he had taken his decks down. But maybe that's because of the cost of the electricity. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, let's crack on. Let's crack on. Enough of this frivolity. So there we are. I'm sure you recognise these fabrics. I can just about get them on my desk. I bet you've seen them before. I bet you're getting very tired of them. It's funny, isn't it? We absolutely love them when we first see them, and then after a little bit it's like, oh, not them again. Let me just push my machine out the way. Right, so this is the one we're making. I don't know which way. I think yeah, it's that way round. On the other side. So we've got 2 nice easy squares to do, and then we've got quite a bit of piecing, so we've got to be fairly accurate with this. I think we've got to start looking at points here and here. Well, there as well, I suppose, but well, yes, you should, but we're going to build this up in sections. It's not as difficult excuse me, as you think perhaps it might be. Helena says she's in Alberta in Canada and it's 1 p.m. That's not a bad time for you actually, Helena. When are you coming back to the UK so we can have a coffee? So yes, it's not as difficult as you think, because we make these up. First we'll make the big ones up, get them out of the way, and then we make these individually and then we pair them up like that. So it's not too bad. I'm kind of mixing an easy one like we did last night to perhaps just... It's easy because all it is straight lines, isn't it? It's more about the points, making sure that we try and get these points sorted. And perhaps, like I say, there is quite important. But we'll see how we get on. And to be perfectly honest, I've moved on 9 days since the first one. And I've forgotten day 1, day 2, day 3, whether I got points right or wrong. And actually, you know what? It doesn't really matter. So this is what we're making. So we've got 4 colours. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the blue, the yellow, the orange and the green, which is lovely. I think if we picked our lovely plain out again, I would be thinking very hard about how I would use that, because that might, I suppose maybe I would do a big triangle if we picked that one out. It's likely because we need 4. Anyway, we'll see how we go. We might not. Be interesting, won't it? All right, so Anne-Marie says, hello, catching you live for a change. Welcome, Anne-Marie. I ordered those very fabrics from Higgs and Higgs and they came last Friday. Oh, they are just so delicious. They are so delicious. So yeah, so we need 4 colours, or we need 4 numbers. Obviously those are your numbers, you know. I'm going to mix them up and then forget where I've put them. And even if I look down, I don't take it in. It's ridiculous. But it'd be nice if we kind of had the 2 darker colours tonight. So we'll see how we get on with that. Obviously, it's all random, so I can't say for sure what we'll get. I really want you to avoid that one, okay? I could take it out and I cheat like I did the other night, and I cheated, and then I felt very guilty about that. So I'm not taking it out. So righto, so those are your numbers, okay? We're making flock. So if you've got the card deck, you know which one to pull out. That's why I give you half an hour notice. So if you wanted to sew along, at least you can cut your pieces if you're used to the system now. If this is day 1 for you, if this is the first one that you've seen, I do suggest you go back to the beginning. It's a lot. It's 12 hours. Well, it will be of viewing, but we do cover how we use the card deck itself, this little box of tricks, and little hints and tips of what's in there, some of the cards, instruction cards I suppose, that are in there, and the foibles, if you like, the idiosyncrasies of the card itself when you look at it, because we got caught out on, well, we didn't get caught out, but we had a bit of a dilemma with twin sisters, didn't we? I'll be honest. I knew what should be done, but we did it slightly differently, and I think that's fine. I think that's fine to do that. And we've learnt lots of things on the way. So I would suggest, if you're new tonight, and you're watching for the first time, to go back to number 1. On YouTube, they're pretty much all together. There's Daffy the Mim. That one there. Daffy the Mim is in the centre of that. I'm just trying to think. No, we didn't do a Mim, did we? Oh, I don't know. Lost track of time. But so Daffy is right in the centre of all those lives. But other than that, they are all in order, pretty much. So it makes it a bit easier. Right, so I need 4 numbers, guys. Oh, you're all ahead of me there. Hi, Jean. Hi, Pippa. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, that's... Oh, I've mixed them up. Let me just mix them up. Let me just bring that one down there. Put that one up there. Down there. And that one there. Right. Sorted. I haven't got a clue. Honestly, you'd think I wouldn't you? I haven't looked at it, but I don't. Right, let's have a look. Violet says 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5 from Janet. 2, 3, 5, 6 from Shelley. There's lots of in-betweens. There's a lot of sequentials. 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6 has come up a lot. 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 3, 5, 6. Kath says 6, 5, 4, 3. It's, as I'm saying it, it's going up the screen. My screen, of course. 1, 3, 5, 6. Jackie Grant. 1, 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I quite like. Chris has said 1, 2, 3, 4. Elaine has said 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe I'll go with that. What do you reckon? 5, 1, 6, 4 dot. Yeah, 1, 3, 5, 6. Penny says, sorry, I'm late. 1, 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6. Maybe we should go with pennies. 1, 3, 4, 6. Shall we? Leanna says 3, 4, 5, 6. Leanna, you're on Facebook tonight. You're normally on YouTube. What's gone wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Gillian's given us 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Missed out one completely. You might have said them all, Gillian. You might as well have said them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. I quite like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's coming up a lot. Shall we go for that? So 1, 1. I'm laughing, I don't know yet, honestly. 1 is that one. That's the only directional one. So that also, I won't do it, so I'm cheating. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Oh, 2. We like that one. They're all getting a bit scrappy now. 3. Oh, well, of course it would be. Don't be daft. 3 and 4. Oh, lovely. Which is the new one. I keep saying the new one. It's not new. It's the same age as the others, but I think we've only used it twice. That'll be an old one tomorrow. 4. Oh, Gillian says, sorry, I've got the flu. Oh, do you know what? My daughter had the flu. And it took her 2 weeks to get over it. 2 weeks. And she was in a terrible state. Poor soul. So I expect you are. So I'm sorry about that, Gillian, because it's not very nice at all. Not very nice at all. Right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that will look quite nice. Let me show you. There you go. That's your choices, guys. I like the dark blue in there. It gives it a bit of pop. So it's just working out now. I think I'm going to do this one and this one as my big triangles. You have to excuse up. This fabric is marked. I keep telling you, but just to remind you, I don't know how it's got marked, but it has. Well, I have got more of this, so our lovely Kath sent me some more. So I think these should be my 2 big triangles, and these should be my little triangles. So if we look at the card, I was watching this back last night, the one I did last night. I was watching it back. I always have to know whether you can hear me, see me right, that it's all okay. So I looked at about 5 minutes, and this is the situation I was in. This is the picture I got up. That's, I'll kind of spin it forward a bit. And this is, and I thought, doesn't she look odd? I never refer it to that it's me. I know, it's like an alter ego or something. And I thought, doesn't she look odd sitting there with that card? Anyway, there we are. So that's the card. So I think I'm going to do the plain and the directional with the big triangles, yeah? So that is A and B. And then the little ones, which are C and D, we're going to use these two. Okay, happy? Do you all agree? Yes. Right, so I'm going to just pop that there. I'll just keep it there. But be careful, because I've got Millie nearly right under my chair. So I've got to just look after her, make sure I don't... Because I have rolled my wheels on her before now, because I forget that she's there. So we're going to cut... And what we could do is what I always do. I don't think I'll get confused because this is not too bad. But, so this is, let's call it A. The other one I decided, which is the directional one, is B. So just to make sure, because I've got a head like a sieve. And then the two fabrics for the little triangles will be, let's call that D. I know it's not in order. And that's C. Oops, there we go. So now I don't have to think about it, because look, it's all marked up. I know what I'm doing. Well, when I say I know what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying. I've got it nearly under control. Right, so A, let me just get my card back. Let me put that out of the way. There we go. So Leanna says, I was on Facebook anyway, so I thought I'd watch you on here. Quite right, Leanna, quite right. It's nice to have choices. It's good to have choices. It's just I'm used to you in a certain place. You've just thrown me completely. Right. So I've got a lot in a small space. There we go. Look, I've got my fabric sorted now. So with this is A, and A is we cut one, we need two, so we're going to subcut, and that's going to be 5 7/8. Okay, now through popular demand, that ruler is on my Amazon shop. There are only 12. So just see what you can do. All right, I can't, it's not my responsibility, but there aren't any more than 12 that I could see. And I do recommend this, or a ruler similar to this, yeah, where it's nice and clear. So I thought I'd put them in my Amazon shop. And like I say, there's only 12, so just let you know, heads up. So yeah, so 5 7/8, that's all we need to know at the moment. So I'm just going to stand up as I normally do, get my rotary cutter, and I'm going to put my 1 in this corner here as I normally do, and it's 5 7/8, so that's nearly 6 inches. Okay, so I'm going to do what I normally do and cut myself a beautiful 90-degree here, and then trim it back. I find that to be the best way, actually. Yeah, the best way. So let's pop that out of the way. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to spin it round. I'm going to put, in fact, let's put the 1 inch in that corner. No, don't be silly, Lizzie. Put the 5 7/8 in that corner. So, oh, hold on, guys. Get this in the right place. There we are. 5 7/8. So what it is, let me just move it so it's correct. So there's our 6 inch there, there's our 6 inch there, and it wants to be the nodget or the mark before the 6 inches. So there's my 6 inch there, and it's the mark before, assuming your ruler has it in eighths. So that's 5 7/8, count them, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. And on this one, there's our 5. So we're going 5, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. But you'll see that the 6 is just sticking out. We've talked about it a few times now, but it's nice to go over it. It's nice to be reassured that what you're doing is correct. And look, hardly any scraps at all. We like it. And then I get my big ruler, because best will in the world, that ain't gonna cut that. So I put my ruler on the point and then bring it across, put it on the point there, make sure it's still lined up, and we're going to subcut. So we're cutting just the two. So that's the first one. That is A. Let's pop it on there. Look, we've got a sticky, so let's just pop it on there. So the next one is the directional. Like I say, it's the only directional one I've got, and quite honestly, I don't mind if whatever direction my flowers end up. I really don't mind. Because you know what? When I'm snuggling into this in a few weeks' time, perhaps 2 or 3 weeks' time, I won't be worried about that. So we're going to do the same again, if I can think about what I'm doing. I've got brain freeze tonight. Okay, so I'm going to cut my square first. So I'm going to get myself a lovely right angle there. So we've got something to work with. We know that's a lovely 90-degree angle. So let's just pop that all on the floor. Pop that round. So I know that's correct. And then I'm just going to line up my 7/8 on this side. And then my 7/8 on that side. Just keep checking. Make sure we're okay in this corner here. Just swing it round a bit. Yep, it was just out slightly. So swing it round a bit. And nice cut. So nice sharp blade in your rotary cutter. By the end of this you might want to change your blade because we've cut an awful lot of fabric, so you might want to change. You'll be pleased to know I changed my needle today. I think it's in right. Seriously, I did have trouble with it. Right, so that's B. Right, super duper. Now then, let's have a look at the next card. I'll let you have a look from the overhead. So C, which is going to be this pretty little fabric here, we're going to cut 4. We need 8, and they're 3 3/8. Okay, so they're quite exact measurements, these cards, but then when you stitch it together, it's already worked out seam allowances and stuff. So we're going to cut 4 at 3 3/8, and then we're going to subcut those. Okay. So let's get our fabric sorted for that. Now this time I'm going to do a strip. In fact, I might actually, I wonder if this end is still straight. Oh, crikey. Is it or isn't it? It's a surprise. Yes, it's fine. So we haven't cut much of this, have we? Let's be honest. So I'm just going to cut a strip 3 3/8 wide, and then I shall work from there. Sometimes that's the easiest option. And to be honest, we're on day 9 and we've hardly used half a metre for our, I'm assuming our 12 blocks, which means that you'd be able to make more if you don't want, because this is not going to be a huge quilt. So 3 3/8, it's just before you get to the half, so it's the little notch before the half, and you can count them if you want. 3, so that's 1 2 3, 3 3/8. All you got to do is make sure that it's lined up all the way down, and if you've got a decent ruler, you'll have little marks, which I have, going all the way along, so you know that you're right. So cut yourself a strip, and hopefully that's all we need. I'll just pop that on the floor, and then we're going to subcut. So I'll just straighten that end off, even though these are all cut by machine, sometimes they're a little bit wonky. So 3 3/8, so you can see I'll swap my ruler again because this is much clearer. It's got a black line to it. So what we're looking for is just making sure that this is still 3 3/8 here as well. So we want 4 of these. Let me just check. Hold on, what are they? 4, yes. 1, 2, 3. It's like waiting for paint dry, isn't it? dear. 4. Okay, we've got a nice little bit of scrap there. And then we just need to subcut. So you could pile them all up. I don't recommend it, but you could. And do them sort of on bulk, if you like. So just make sure you're point to point. And I think these now need a little press, because you can see they're at the other end of my fabric. And they're wonky donkey, aren't they? A little bit wonky donkey. A little bit. Right, so line it up. Just go point to point and have confidence with all of this. So I'm just going to put my little heap with a C on it. So I'm going to leave it like that because I'm going to give them all a little press. And we want to do the same with D. So if I show you overhead, D, cut 4, we need 8, 3 3/8. Okay. So it's quite nice. So I can't remember if I've cut the other end of this. I don't think I have. It's easier sometimes. No, still got the selvage, so that's good. I'm going to move my pieces. They're a little bit... The big pieces I know I'm not going to lose. The little pieces might float off somewhere. Right, so line up your selvage. Just... If you've got that lined up, you should be right. Okay, so let's trim that off. You can always trim from the other end and then flip it. Whatever you feel most confident doing. I would say, as long as you can have your fold of your fabric following a line on your mat, making sure your ruler is squared up with that, you should be fine. I kind of do it by eye. So we're just doing a strip of 3 3/8. So I'm just throwing that down because I'll end up pressing that all again tomorrow. So I'm just going to take a little nodge it off there. I think it's actually fine, but best to err on the side of caution. And I'm going to bring in my other lovely ruler. So we're looking at 3 3/8 again. So it's just before the 1/2 inch mark. Make sure that it's all lined up and cut. Something's sticking on my desk there. It keeps sticking to my ruler. Excuse me. 2. 3. Now just move slightly. I don't know if you saw that. It moved slightly, so I double checked again. Make sure it's still sitting where I wanted it to be. A little bit of scrap goes on my heap. So I better switch my iron on. Millie, do not go near my wire. If you pull that on you, you're going to be more curly than you thought. She's all right. She's asleep-ish. She knows when I'm doing this that she can't speak to me. She just sits still. And I think she's probably bored to death. But she likes to keep me company. It's John's dog. Millie is John's dog. Yeah, Millie was bought for John from John for his retirement a few years back. And I think I'd like to say that she spends more time with me. And I don't think he gets fed up about it. But it's just always the way, I think, isn't it, with dogs? They find they're human. And, yeah, kind of stick with it. There we are. Now I'm going to move, Millie, so be careful. Okay, good girl. That's it. You sit still. Right. So we'll just give these a quick iron. Are you all okay? Oh, so, right, Jeanette says, my daughter managed to order the ruler for me. There's only 4 left. Well, I kind of figured that you might like it because I wouldn't be without it. I wouldn't, hey, maybe I should have ordered myself a second one. Oh, too late. So, hopefully we keep an eye on it and obviously it'll come back into stock. These things always do. It depends where they're coming from, doesn't it, as to how quickly they come back into stock. I mean, for instance, the card deck is American, so it's minimum a month, I'd say, before it comes back into stock. Yeah, so it depends, I suppose. And I suppose at some point they won't print them anymore, perhaps. But then, you know, you've got something, perhaps a little bit of value. Put it on eBay and get it for double the money. It's only a suggestion. I don't expect you to do that. Right. But the people do, don't they? They buy things that have been super popular and then resell. I don't know if that's really sensible or what. I don't know. Right, I'm going to turn my iron down so it's not so hot, just in case Millie nudges it. She's all right. She's sitting behind me. Okay. Right, so what we're going to do now is start putting the blocks together. So I'll put you on the side camera for a bit. I'm just going to move my heaps. I've got my heaps here. I think I'll tell you what we could do. We could sort of lay this out, because we find that to work really well, to lay it out on my ironing block. And then it's kind of like fuzzy felt, it sticks. But you could do the same with do it for about a sort of 13-inch, something like that. And cover, even if it's just a piece of wood, and cover it with felt. And that way the fabric will stick to it. It's a good alternative to what I've got with the ironing mat. So let's have a look at the block. So I thought, I'll just get it so you can see for a moment. I thought that, do you know, it doesn't really matter. Let's keep with the yellow is my plain. So that's like that. So I'll tuck that up the corner. And then this one will go here. And then this one will go there. Move that up a bit now. That's it. And then this one is here. I think that's fine. And actually, look, the direction is going like that. So if I turn that around, not that it's important, to be honest, but the direction is going the same way. So that's quite sweet, isn't it? I'm going to keep it like that because that's how the card is, and it's just easier. So it doesn't really matter. But I think we'll just do the dark blues here. Oops, too many. Dark blues there. And you get a better visual when you do this. And also when you start picking up and putting down, you've seen me do that now a couple of times. It keeps your mind straight. Oh, that's just looking gorgeous. I love it, I love it, I love it. They do, Elaine. Elaine says they look fabulous together. They really do. And of course, Higgs and Higgs do these fabric bundles. This fabric is from France. It's beautiful. The quality is just superb. And it's wider than normal quilting fabric, which is a bonus. And it's the prints are always delicious. And they do unusual prints. Yeah, they do unusual prints, which is also nice. Now, what do you reckon? I'm looking at that. I think that'll work nicely, don't you? I think the directional fabric blends with this one, but it still stands out enough. It's not like it disappears into the background. I think that works fine. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So Nicola's asking, anybody on YouTube sewing? Anybody on YouTube sewing? Well, that'd be nice, won't it? Oh look, let's get rid of the junk. Get the phone out the way. My mouse, which is always in the way. And we'll bring in the machine. I've given us a little more of a view tonight. So I'm going to put my 1/4 inch stitch on. I'm just going to switch my other light on as well. That's it. Put a wee bit of light on the the throat of the machine. Okay, so we're going to start with the two big blocks, the two big triangles, sorry. So these two. So we'll stitch them, we'll press them, and then we'll move on to the little ones, okay? So with the little ones, it's like everything else, just watch your seam allowances, because there's a lot, there could be a lot of differential if your seam allowance is a bit, you know, a bit untoward. So do your best. Do your best. And see how you get on. Ooh, that's taken. Can you see? It's took my fabric under there again. It's okay. I put a size 14 in, but I think this should have been a 12 really. But in fact, let's put the stitch length up to 6. That's it. Sorry, 2.6. Only because I have to stitch them a little bit quicker than you guys. Otherwise we'd be here all night. So there's one pair. So we'll get the other pair up and make sure everything is lying as parallel and as straight and all the rest as possible. Just line that up and take it on. Be careful about stretching your seam. Just go canny, as they say, up in the north. Sounds a bit rattly. Sure, it's fine. Leanna says, can you remember what mim you made on your first video? Yes, it wasn't it the heart pot holder? Yeah, I think it was the heart pot holder, Leanna. So there's our two. I need to press them open. So I've got my tiny little mat here, which is really not appropriate at all. I've got my iron there. You mustn't worry, guys. It might look very close, but it's not as bad as you think. So we'll set the seam, even though we've got the little mat. I don't know where my other mat is. I've got 2 or 3 others of Abigail's, and I could actually cut one up. I know, I could cut one up. Let's just switch that up a little bit. I'm going to press that over to the directional fabric. No reason, because at the end of the day we're going to have to look at seams again like we did yesterday and make sure that we've got them nesting. So I possibly could move that anyway, so but that will do to see me onto the next bit. So set the seam and then push that seam open. Who's got the smallest ironing mat in the world? Do you think I could qualify? I don't know what the measurement is, it's not very big. Honestly, all the things I've got in my room, all the tools I have, it's ridiculous. Right, so as long as Millie doesn't go anywhere near that, we're okay. So now I can put these back, so bear with, and I'll put these back. I think I might have turned them around. Let me just hold on guys. How did I have them before? No, it's not like that. Hold on, wait, I'm just thinking about what I'm doing. Yellow, right. Phew, that was hard. So I've stitched these two here, okay, and I've put them back. And like I said last night, pop a pin in. If you've got a nice mat like this that you can do this with, pop a pin in, then they won't go anywhere and you know what you're building up to. With these as well, these little ones here, you could pop pins in those as well to keep them down. So now we're going to work along these. So I'm going to make all 4. I'm just going to do 4 at a time. So I'm going to stitch these together to make 4 little mini blocks. And then I'm going to stitch these 2 together here, these 2 together here, and then stitch across there to join them up. I hope that's okay. Jean says, mine are, oh, is that right tonight? No, not tonight. Oh, I can't read that, Jean. Yes, that's what my mum used to say, what you've just said. Don't say it. It's a bit political, isn't it? So let's get these. Oh, look at that, guys. Now then, what do you reckon? Something has gone wrong, hasn't it? Something has gone wrong somewhere. Let me get my ruler. Because if we need to recut, we must recut. So 3 3/8. That's fine. That's fine. Gosh, that doesn't look right at all, does it? That is, you know, 3 3/8, 3 3/8. Wow. Okay, let's just go with it. But that doesn't seem right at all. We'll put them. I want you to see this because this could happen to you. I have no idea what's happened there because that is how it looks, and obviously that shouldn't be like that. Let me just pick up another pair, a random pair. And yeah, those are perfect, look. Those are perfect. So, I don't know what's happened there. Weird. And yet they measure perfectly fine. Sorry, it's important that I do this. Ah, that's not right there, is it? Ah, I've done it. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see there's the 4 and my 3/8 is up here somewhere. So I'm going to find the other half to that and I'm going to recut. I don't know which one it is, mind you, so bear with us. It's good that we do this, guys. It's good that we do this. So I'm going to pop that on a square. You can see that we're completely wrong. Can you see? 1, 2, 3 and a bit. 1, 2, 3 and lots of bits. So I don't know which one it matches up to. Let's just do it this way. Well, it's not that one, so that one's okay. So it's going to have to be a process of elimination. That one's okay. That one's okay. How bizarre. That one's all right. It'll be the last one, won't it? Well, it might be this one. Yeah, look at that. It's a blinking rectangle. It's a blinking rectangle, guys. So, hey, what a good spot. What a good spot. Now, is that going to cut right? I don't think it will. I might have to cut another square. 3 3/8. 3 3/8. It's best to keep saying it in your head. No, because the point's going to come right down here. Right, so we just have to cut another square. Good, that's fine. I've got I just happen to have in my possession a scrap. So 3 3/8. I wonder if you were telling me. Were you telling me? I just completely ignored you. It's the sort of thing I do. This is real life. This here is some done. No, it's not a here some. No, absolutely. And in actual fact, after about day 4, I think, I stopped pre-making them because A, I haven't got the time, and B, I thought, you know what, it's better if I just do this with you guys. So it's really important. Right, I've rectified that. It's like it never happened. So. So let's bring in my machine. No one is perfect, Lizzie. Well, no, that is an absolute fact. And I would never hide anything from you guys. Well, you'd think, well, that's not right. But it was the first one, wasn't it? It was the first block I picked up. So we were lucky in that respect. I'd have been sailing away, thinking life was good. And actually, it's all a bit dodgy. Right, here we go. Scant 1/4 inch, you know we've talked about it. And we're going to do chain piecing, guys, okay? So there's my first pair. I've got 5 minutes to catch up now. This is my second pair. Don't rush. Take your time. We still want accuracy at all times. Just keep those edges lined up. Keep to your 1/4 inch, but a scant. Use your stiletto if you need to. And if you want that stiletto from Trisha Boyd, you need to message her. You need to private message her. Look for her profile. Make sure you got the right Trisha Boyd, because I'm sure there's a lot. And you're going to need to private message her, and her friend Maggie will make them up for you. Yeah, which is excellent. Really lovely to help a friend. There we go. So that's the 4 done. So we'll get the smallest mat in the world and bring it up. Let's just pop that to one side, make a bit of room. There we go. Don't worry, it's perfectly safe there. It always looks different on camera that it does in real life when you have an iron near you. It was like when I used to work on TV, people would sort of say, "Oh, I thought you were going to burn your hand, Lizzie," and all this, that and the other. Well, it's different. You are fully under control. You know exactly what you're doing. The last thing you want is to have an injury while you're on live TV. Unlike Abigail, who had an injury, she cut herself when they had the original plates for the Gemini. If you weren't careful, they were really sharp. We knew that, everybody knew that, but it was coming up with an idea of how to rectify it. They did the job, you know, reasonably well. You know, they're fine. I demonstrated them with them for years, but you really had to watch. And she cut herself on the plate, one of the metal plates, and her hand was dripping, seriously. So she ended up with one hand away like this and the rest just doing everything with one hand. And in the end they had to go and find something, a plaster or something, to stop it from bleeding. Yeah, poor Abby. It was yeah, I mean, I could see there was something wrong, because you watch in a different way when you're the demonstrator yourself. You watch in a different way, and I could see something was wrong. So yeah, so look, I'm putting my blocks back on. Let me just do it and then I'll show you. You can cut the dog ears off if you want to. Okay, so I've stitched these 4 together, so that's a one complete little block now. And what we're going to do is we're going to stitch this one to this one, this one to this one, and then the 2 pairs together. But what we need to watch are the points here. We want to try and keep to that accurate 1/4 inch, so we ensure that we get fairly decent points. See how you get on. You know what, I'm not going to lose sleep. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to stitch those 2 together, those 2 together, and then the 2 pairs. Okay. Yeah, so it's a funny old business, really. Yeah, I used to enjoy it. Yeah, I did. So it's good fun. Good fun. Nice people. Yeah. So it makes all the difference. They're a bit crackers, but I think they would always admit that they're a bit crackers. So I'm just going to chain piece. And that's not just the presenters, that's the demonstrators as well. Oh dear. Ah, yeah, bless. Right, so we're right sides together, we're on that scant 1/4 inch, we just chain piece those 2 pairs together. I've lost my scissors, here we go. So like I say, you could cut those dog ears off if you want. We'll do that because they're just getting in my way now. So just go all the way round, give them a haircut. Don't go crazy, just give them a haircut, and it just neatens everything up. There we go, won't take long. Super duper. What time have we got? Oh, it's 10 to 9. Oh my lord. So there's our first pair, yeah? And you could give that an iron if you want, but I'm now pushing for time. There's my second pair. Oh, they do look nice together. So we're just going to nest, but can you see we've got this sort of point business going on here and here. Okay, so you want to try and get those 2 points, you know, as fairly decent. That's all I want to say about that. But use a pin if you want to. I mean, we've gone over this, haven't we, a lot of times now. Use a pin, use quilter's tape, stitch a little bit and then flip it and turn and see what you think. If at any time you think, oh, I'm not going to be happy with that, then please just redo it again. Redo it again, yeah, just unpick it or unstick it or unpin it and do it again if you're not going to be happy. Okay, so I'm just chancing my arm that that's okay. Is that Suki on your machine? Yes, Leanna, and actually I made that, well, perhaps even 3 years ago. It's my most favourite pincushion. You can see it's well loved. I absolutely adore it. I love the colours, I like the shape, everything. So let's get it the right way around. There we are. So that's what you're aiming for. Hold on, is that right? Hold on, bear with, that way. That's how it should go. That's how it should go. But what we'll do is we will press this in a sec, okay, to make it pretty. So now what we're doing, we've done our 3 blocks now. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do this little lot down the corner here. So same again. So it's a lot of repetition with patchwork, but I promise you by day 12 you'll be pros. You can go to your local sewing shop and say, actually, love, I've made 12 blocks. I am now, you know, I could teach this. See how you get on. She might chuck you out the shop, mind you. But you know what? It's giving you confidence to do it. You maybe have done this for the very first time, which I know some of you have, and you've actually quite enjoyed it, because patchwork is literally straight stitching. Well, apart from there's other designs, but generally it's nothing complicated and you're not using any sort of fancy stitches, and I think it's very rewarding, because at the end of it you're getting an heirloom. You're getting something that will last 200 years. Yeah, sorry about that. Unless somebody takes it to landfill. You know, when you've passed it on to somebody else, just watch they don't take it to landfill. You know, it's just, it would break your heart, all that work. No, I think there has to be a clause when you pass it on, right on the back of your quilt, this is not to go to landfill. Because although we love our fabrics, there's some very strange folk out there that don't. I know, it's true. It's absolutely true. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm probably one of them. Right, so, oh, it's a bit close. Right, here we go. And I would really like to press these. Let's do one at a time. Okay, excellent. Is anybody keeping up? We're not doing too bad a job tonight. Actually, I'll be honest with you, I am playing bobbin roulette, and I deliberately am playing bobbin roulette because I've got the Simplicity bobbin winder. Now, I don't sell them, I don't get commission, but I wanted you to see, if you're sitting on the fence and you've got the cash and you know you can, it's in your budget, the bobbin winder is superb. Absolutely superb. If you've got a machine that never lets you down, I'm not actually looking which side I'm pressing these to. If you've got a machine that never lets you down with filling the bobbin, that's fantastic, right? But this machine, it's cost me a lot of money, and I have to say it's rubbish at filling a bobbin. Honestly, it's rubbish. It's probably me. I don't think, you know, I don't blame the machine, it's probably me. But yeah, this machine, the needle threader, is fantastic. My other Juki, it's rubbish. So you know, oh, it's like, really? So let's just make sure I've got these going the right way. I didn't check the other ones. Do you think they're right? I feel like I'm rushing now. I don't want to rush. Extra 5 minutes won't hurt. I haven't got a date on the sofa with John tonight. Well, unless we see Vienna Blood again. Is anybody watching that? So I'm just cutting my dog ears off. I'm rather liking Vienna Blood at the moment. I do like a murder mystery. I really do. I don't like Agatha Christie type things, but I like, I don't know what it is I like, but because I pretty much always solve them before they've started. I suppose that's why I like them. Oh dear me. Got lots of little bits all over the place now. Okay, so we've got our 2 squares done. Yeah, 2 top squares, 2 bottom squares. Yeah, so now I'm going to stitch the 2 pairs together. Like I said before and a million gazillion times, watch those points. Nest the seams, just watch them. Just try and get the best result you can. And like I said before, if it's not quite up to what your standard is, whatever that is, then redo it. But don't spend a gazillion years on it. Truly don't. That heirloom, somebody's going to be so proud to have that. Really, they will. So, oh, there we are. Diana says, on yesterday's block, I opened up all the seams, turned out well. Yeah, it's, oh, what's that say? Jackie Thomas says, just started watching Treason on Netflix. Oh, I'll have to try and remember that. Jackie, message me after. Now, yes, opening your seams, a little bit controversial in some places. I'm just going to show off, right, because that is darn perfect. It'll never happen again, so, you know. Yeah, so, well, I've forgotten what I was saying, just rattling on about stuff. Right, so we're going to join our blocks together now, so let's have a look at it. So we're going to join this one to that one, this one to that one. See, a pin really helps. That one to that one, and then the 2 pairs together, yeah? Just watch your points, there and there. And when you're stitching that to that, you stitch with that side uppermost because you can see where the point is. I'll show you on the machine. Well, it gives you a fighting chance, doesn't it? So get your corners lined up. This is always the thing. Get those corners lined up so you actually shouldn't be able to see the fabric underneath. It should be lying on there absolutely perfectly. So line them up. And gosh, that's sucking my fabric under there, something rotten. So I've got the little patchwork sitting on top because I can see where my point is, okay? And I'm not going to go on the point, I'm going to go slightly to the left. I mean right, for goodness sake. Slightly to the right, just a hair's breadth. And to be honest, I've got a load of thread here. My machine automatically cuts, but it makes a right bird's nest. Oh, honestly, I love the machine, but I prefer my other Juki. But my needle is, I think the timing is out, or something's out because it's not sitting right. Oh, Laurie Holt always presses seams open. I like Laurie Holt. So look at that, that's not bad. Can you see? Not bad, not bad. We'll give it a good press in a minute. So we're going to do the other pair. Oh, we're a minute to 9. We'll get this together and give it a little press and then we're done, aren't we? I think I might, on the 12th night, see? I didn't listen to my own rules. We have the little patchwork on the top. On the 12th night, I think I'm going to do just literally 4 squares. Not because that's easy peasy. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to sort this out. But because it's going to be quick, and then I'll go through the sashing again. It's not happy, and the wadding and all of that. Yeah. Look at this, it's dreadful. I'm going to just start a bit further in, and then I'll come back on that. So just watch your point here. Do you see I got the patchwork on the top? Oops. And I'm just going to look for the point, which is there. You won't see that, but it's there. And I'm just going to go to the side of it. I mean, it's hardly enough for me to even worry about. And then I'm coming back up here to where I started. There we go. And then I just want to finish that off nicely. Just come up a bit. Yeah. I might change to a 12, a size 12 needle. So there's my other half. Not bad. So now we're going to flip the two together. So this is where you've got points both sides. So that's a case of you could put a pin in there again to make sure that they are nested nicely and that the seams are sitting on top of each other. You absolutely want to nest these. And let me have a look, make sure, let me just see if I've got that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I reckon you can't nest these. Now that's a silly thing to say, because on the patchwork, your seam will want to go like that. So that one goes that way. But because we've got a diagonal, the seam wants to go that way. And, oh no, I'm okay. Oh, look at that. So that seam goes that way. Talk gibberish. And that one's going that way. So it's going to lie flat. So that's the most important bit. But just like I say, watch your points. I'm just going to have a quick look at it and see what I think. Yeah, it's not too bad, not too bad. So I'm going to set off with my corners absolutely perfect, where my thumb is, just there. And take it from there. I'm going to step in a bit because obviously this is struggling, and I'm just going to keep my nested bit where my seams meet. I'm going to keep those perfect and just make sure that the rest fits in. I'm happy with that. Just want to make sure my seam is, can't see now. I want to make sure that is lying flat. This is where you should iron, guys. I just want to flip that. Just get that seam going like that. So I'm going to get to that first. Yeah, this is why you press, because that seam wasn't lying correctly. It would have been twisted. Do you remember the other night when we had a twisted seam? Grates on me, that does. A twisted seam. Okay, let me just adjust that slightly again. That's it. Happy now. Happy days. Because obviously you've got the other main, this patchwork is underneath here. So you want them, do you see how they sit? So because I haven't pressed it, you need to make sure that it's lying correctly. Right, come on, let's go. So I'm going to hold it down. There's one of these triangles isn't going to sit where it wants to be. It's going to, it's a bit like your hair. Sometimes your hair doesn't want to be where it's where you want to put it. It fights you. It says, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look. Let me get it so it's like the pattern. I think that's not a bad job. Not a bad job at all. Obviously we're going to give this a press, and actually putting it under your household iron, as I've said before, makes a huge difference. And that middle's not too bad either. In fact, I'm just going to leave it like that because I want to make sure that all my seams are going to be right. And look, that one I will probably open. So that one going along there where I joined the two, I will probably open that up because of all this bulk here. Okay, that's all it is. I think that's what I'll do. Yep, so I'm happy with that. Just make sure these are all going correctly, and that doesn't look too bad. If we give it a quick press, just go with what it's telling you, because the fabric will lie correctly. You've just got to help it. Well, I'm not going to do that centre bit because we haven't got time, but that is all right. Let me see, is that how we had it? Like that, that's it. If we look at the block, there we are. So the green is the dark blue. That's how we wanted it to be. So there we are. So I hope you have a go with that one. It's quite different, isn't it? Quite different. I like it very much. So I shall give that a really good press tomorrow. And then I'm going to layer it up with I've pre-cut all my wadding. Oh, I think Jeanette had done hers. Jeanette has pre-cut. And all my backing pieces, they've all been pre-cut, all ready to be put onto the back of my blocks, so we're ready to go. And then on Friday I'll do something real quick, only because I want to quilt it and do a bit of sashing with you again, so that reminds you. Good. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me again. We've had great viewers again too, well over 250 with YouTube as well, which is fantastic. Thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying the journey. I hope you're going to be doing some of these. As long as you do one, just do the one and make it into a cushion front. That would be awesome. And then show us a picture, okay? Now the pictures won't stay forever in the Making It Monday group, or rather they will, but I won't, after a period of time we'll discourage you from doing it, because we can't keep clogging up the Making It Monday group with the blocks. So at some point we'll have a cut off, maybe sometime in, at the end of the month, something like that. But while that is open for you to post the pictures of your blocks, flood it. I mean, poor little Daffy, I was getting that wrong. Poor little Daffy has been pushed down the feed, so I've put some in featured for you to have a look at. I think we've got half a dozen Daffies in there now, which is fab. Right, tomorrow, Wednesday, day 10. Can you believe? Oh my goodness me. So I will see you then with new nails, because I'm having those done tomorrow. Not that you needed to know that. Might go sparkly again. I hope you have a great evening.